A suspended police officer walks into court hoping to walk out on bail. Instead, he's told he'll be spending another week behind bars. Today, we unpack what really happened in the bail hearing of Sergeant Fannie Nkosi, a case that includes a loaded firearm allegedly found under a child's bed, unexplained cash, missing police dockets, and allegations of obstruction of justice. Stick with me in this riveting courtroom episode of Daily Updates with Miss Media.
And this matter is brought against me as a result of the testimony that I gave in the Madlanga Commission. At a flight risk, I will stand my trial. I will stand my trial should it proceed against me. I now have become a well-known sergeant in the South African Police Services. There is no possibility that I will even think of not standing my trial, should there be one.
Nkosi's formal bail application began, but it was not finished. Why? Well, because the state said they were not available at any other time this week. This means the case only resumes next week, and Nkosi will spend a third week in custody.
Right, your case is remanded until the 20th of April 2025 in this court. It is for us to continue with your formal bail application. You'll be kept in custody until then.
Let's break down what was said in court and what it means. But before we get into it, let me ask you this. If a police officer is found with case dockets, state ammunition, and large amounts of money at his house, should bail even be on the table? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments section. Sergeant Fannie Nkosi appeared at the Pretoria North Magistrate's Court for his bail hearing. His legal team was ready to argue for his release. It seems they expected him to go home. The state was ready to oppose it and they did not want him to go home. But the hearing could not be completed. Why? Because after hours of legal arguments and examination, the state told the court that they were not available any other day this week to continue. So the magistrate postponed the case to next week. That means Nkosi remains in custody. And the next big question becomes, should a bail hearing be delayed when someone has already spent weeks in detention? Nkosi has already spent 2 weeks so far. Let me know your thoughts on that question in the comments section.
I have been informed of all the charges against me of defeating the ends of justice, theft, possession of unlicensed of ammunition, and possession of stun grenade, and I will be pleading not guilty on the charges against me.
Nkosi is a suspended officer. He's attached to the organized crime unit. He's 42 years old, married in community of property, and he's a father to one child. He says he earns around 16,500 Rand a month. He says he can afford 10,000 Rand bail. He was suspended on March 28 and was arrested during a police raid at his home on April 2. He told the court that he lived in South Africa all his life and has no plans to leave the country. So he's basically not a flight risk and argues that for that reason, he should be given bail. He also says a whole lot of other things.
In order to persuade the above honorable court that I should be released on bail, I provide the following additional facts and information. I do not know the identity of any witnesses upon whom the state will rely in order to attempt to prove a case against me, besides the police officers who were present during my arrest and executed the search warrant in my property. In any event, I have no intention to interfere with any witnesses as I have no cause to do so, and I undertake not to do so.
Investigators have a very different story to tell. They say during the raid at his house, they found multiple firearms, hundreds of rounds of ammunition, an explosive device, and more than 50,000 Rand in cash. They say they found police dockets, a loaded revolver allegedly under a child's mattress. The gun under the bed was one of the biggest points in the court. The state says the firearm was not locked in a safe. Nkosi denies this. He claims all his weapons were secured. This then raises a serious question. If a loaded weapon was truly under a child's mattress, is bail appropriate? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments section, and remember to subscribe to the channel. Also hit that notification bell so that you know when I go live or when I load a video. Nkosi's defense says the charges are exaggerated and part of a vendetta. He supports his wife and child. He says he has no plans to flee the country. He denies hiding weapons or failing to secure them. He also denies keeping dockets to obstruct justice. He claims he returned all state property requested. He also denies the existence of a grenade in his possession. He says he does not understand how he's accused of defeating the ends of justice. He claims, "I will not plead guilty. These charges are fabricated."
This is my first arrest. I do not have any pending criminal cases against me, besides the charges that I've been charged with by the state and the prosecution. I contend that if I'm released on bail, I will not undermine or jeopardize the objectives and the proper functioning of the criminal justice system, including the bail system, as I have never been released on bail and undermine the criminal justice system and or bail system.
This then leads us to a key question. Should a police officer's word carry more weight, or should the physical evidence outweigh it? Also, judging from what you know about Nkosi from his Madlanga Commission testimony, do you think that he's a witness that we can trust? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments section, and remember to subscribe to the channel. Also, hit that notification bell so that you know when I go live or when I load a video. There are also other serious issues that make this case all the more complex. You'll remember that during a previous raid at Nkosi's home, the police found cash to the value of 380,000 rands and then some. Nkosi, during his Madlanga Commission testimony, was not able to provide enough evidence to explain where the money comes from. Well, this time around, investigators say they also found more cash. This time, 52,700 rand hidden under a mattress and in other places. Nkosi has not explained the origin of this money. The police also note that his salary is 16,500 rand a month, which then raises questions about his lifestyle not matching his income. The state argues that this indicates unexplained wealth.
It's such a huge sum of money in cash, not have raised alarm bells in your head. 380,000 rand, that's a lot of money in cash.
Commissioners, knowing my brother and knowing Mr. Ngwatu that they are both business people, I did not see any problem on the issue of that money at that time.
Not all businesses are cash businesses. Can you explain why you would not have thought of why the money was in cash? You are a police officer. You are a police officer.
Yes, I am. I agree on that, Commissioner. Not maybe to get into details about Mr. Ngwatu's business. One thing that I know that he ran auctions in terms of the animals. He ran pubs. He ran boat clubs. So to me, it was not a shock when my brother came with that sum of money, because knowing what kind of businesses, some that have been conducted by Mr. Ngwatu.
All right.
The state argues that this could indicate unexplained wealth. The police also found 490 live rounds of ammunition, rifle rounds, pistol rounds, shotgun rounds, and state-issued ammunition marked for police use. They say some ammunition was found in drawers and unsecured areas. The state argues that this violates firearms storage laws.
The applicant signed for this document on 21 June 2016. He kept the original docket until the date 2 April 2026, when it was recovered during the search. A duplicate docket was therefore opened by Lieutenant Colonel Ramagoka and closed it in the system because the original docket was missing. There is no other reason for the applicant to keep this docket other than to frustrate the investigation and defeat the ends of justice. I am saying this because since the applicant signed for it at the station in 2016, no investigation was carried out by him Instead, it was gathering dust at his house for the reasons known only by him until it was found on 2 April 2026.
The confidential police dockets that were found in his home formed one of the most explosive parts of the hearing. Police say they found multiple original case dockets in Nkosi's home, including robbery cases, cash-in-transit heist cases, hijacking cases, cases with fingerprints never sent for forensic testing, cases with CCTV evidence not processed. Some dockets date as far back as 2013 and 2014. The state argues that he had no legal reason to keep them. They were supposed to be returned when he was suspended. Their presence at his home suggests interference with investigations. They accused him of failing to process evidence. They accused him of keeping dockets instead of returning them, potentially shielding suspects.
The applicant has shielded serious criminals who are involved in violent crimes like cash in transit, robbery, and with aggravating circumstances, instead of bringing them to court to account for their alleged wrongdoing. It will be a serious miscarriage of justice to afford bail to this applicant. With this kind of character, as clearly demonstrated above, there is a real likelihood that the applicant will attempt to frustrate or interfere with investigations against him. The evidence demonstrates that the applicant is not working alone in defeating and obstructing the course of justice, but is assisted by other officers who are not suspended from the SAPS.
One docket allegedly contained fingerprint evidence that was never submitted to forensic analysis for years. So if dockets sit unprocessed for years, what happens to the victims of those cases? Also, the people who are accused, what happens to them? We've also heard many times that the police sometimes sell or make dockets disappear. Do you think this could be such a scenario? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments section, and remember to subscribe to the channel. Also hit that notification bell so that you know when I go live or when I load a video. The state says Nkosi's possession of sensitive materials shows possible obstruction of justice, possible shielding of suspects, potential interference with investigations. They also allege that he has connections to people under investigation, especially for organized crime. The state says a functional stun grenade was also found, but Nkosi denies knowing about this. So what do you think? Do you think he was being framed? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments section. Then, another issue that came up is that Nkosi's lawyers requested that he be kept in the hospital section of the Kgosi Mampuru prison, just like the last magistrate had ordered, because he allegedly fears for his safety. He thinks he might be poisoned, but the magistrate refused. Also, the lawyers had said that Nkosi has diabetes, but the magistrate said medical treatment cannot be used as protective custody. No medical evidence was presented to justify the request.
By merely saying that the person is diabetic, that does not justify being admitted in hospital. And also, my other concern is he says he's afraid of being poisoned. If he's afraid of being poisoned, whether he's hospital wing or general prison population, and I don't see where that is stemming from. I'm not sure if that is the right order that my colleague made, and I'm not inclined to make such an order.
The court was of the opinion that Nkosi, who also said that he has diabetes, was not a special case. They said that the prison must manage his safety just like they do with any other detainee. So Nkosi was then ordered to remain with the general population. This means he's going to spend a third week in prison. His bail application will then continue next Monday. At the next hearing, the court will consider whether he's a flight risk, whether he may interfere with witnesses, whether he poses a danger to the public, whether bail conditions could manage those risks. The magistrate will then decide if he walks out or stays behind bars until trial. This then leads us to the biggest question of all. If the allegations are true, is bail even appropriate? If they are not, is it fair to keep him locked up without bail for so long? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Sergeant Nkosi's Madlanga Commission testimony seems to implicate him in a lot of wrongdoing, particularly as he is alleged to be a conduit between underworld figures as well as between police officers and people who should not be talking to them. But that's not all. His name has also surfaced in relation to tender corruption at the Tshwane Metro Municipality. Despite all of this, Nkosi has not been arrested for any of that. He's been arrested for the items that were found at his house during that raid. So what do you think? Do you think the police just simply have no evidence pertaining to the allegations against him that were leveled at the Madlanga Commission? Or do you think he's going to have more charges against him? Also, do you think he should get bail when he appears again next week? Or not? Let me know in the comments section. And remember that this story is not just about Sergeant Nkosi. It is about the SAPS as a whole and whether the people who are meant to protect us are actually doing that. Or are they harming us? For today, that's it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please do make sure to share this video with as many people as you can. See you next time and thank you for watching.